Welcome back everybody to another episode right here. Today, once again, gonna go ahead and do some of the optional stuff in the game. And that very much means, at least for this video, that we are taking on the... Well, I don't know, I almost said Final Covenant, but that's totally not how you should describe that. It's just the optional, secret little covenant that we're gonna try to do today. And very much an offline covenant, as I've said before, I believe, and that includes fighting a boss and stuff like that, so it should be very exciting. And there's also some stuff that I have done off camera that I should talk about, which is also very exciting. So as you can see, I now totally do have the Great Lightning Spear right here. I upgraded myself to now have 24, not even 24, 42 faith, god damn it, and that now allows me to use the Great Lightning Spear, and that is going to be very, very neat. Right, so what do we want to do right here? First of all, I want to avoid being killed by all of these guys. I think it's happened before, so let's very, very much skip on that this time around. Now, what I want to do though is drop down somewhere around here. This already might be it, but then the bloodstain being there, I don't trust all this stuff too much. I always forget where it is, so for that reason I will now go kind of out of my way to see where all this stuff is. I also got poisoned there. Maybe I should actually go ahead and use a moss for that. That was not a good time for being poisoned, but we're still fine. Let's just use a Radiant Life Gem and then carry on with our life right here. So the reason why I am in the Black Gulch is that there is another one of those portal things around right here. There's also a door right here. You cannot open it though. That will be something we can take care of in just a few moments. But essentially, yeah, you might remember me... Jesus, that was scary. You might remember me going to the guy in the wheelchair in the Rusted Woods. That's totally not what it is. It's the Shaded Woods. How did I don't know, just disregard. Shaded Woods, and there you could fall down into a hole, and there was a little portal kind of thing, very much inactive, and then a guy sitting next to it saying how you should go to all the other portals in the world as well. And that is very much now what we're doing right here. We're taking on the second out of the 3 portals that you can visit. And if you've done all of that, he will allow you to enter a covenant. But this shit's exciting right now, because this is just one of the scariest moments in the game, because I don't know if you can make it out already, but there are totally freaking giants down in the Black Gulch, and they are not to fuck around with, because they can just kill you super quickly. So what I want to do here, kind of my strategy for all of this, is totally going to be luring them all the way back to where I came from, this very entrance, and only then using some of the lightning spears that I have. So this is now me using the Great Lightning Spear for the very first time, and they should not... Oh, god damn it. I don't like them running away either, but they should not follow us all the way. Instead, what they should do is very much leash yet again. Jesus Christ, you guys. Right, maybe I can hit him now manually. There we go. Much better. Much better. They're still totally going to aggro, but I don't really mind as long as I'm doing damage. But yeah, they're not going to follow you all the way, so I found that a good strategy for all of this is just sticking around here at the entrance, and then just working your magic, your miracles, whatever you have, and then just make life that much easier. Sometimes, I've seen it before, that they just then still take swings at you and still do a crap ton of damage, and that is so not good, because of course also if you are back at the entrance, there's very much like an abyss right behind you, so be very, very careful with when dealing with these guys. Just because they, I believe, also completely do not care about your shield. Shit will just go straight through and very much end up killing you. It's happened to me before, so be careful. But he's now almost dead. Ah, as a matter of fact, that was gonna be it. That was going to be it. Hit it. There we go. Much better. And yeah, there's another reason why we now did this. We got the forgotten key, and that is what you need for the door that I was at just a few moments ago. And then also the soul of a giant. Another one of those. Let's maybe check how many we have right here. It should be somewhere in this screen, I would imagine. I don't know though. Soul of the giants. Is that even something that shows up? I've never really taken a look at them, I don't think. Oh no, they're right here. Actually, yeah. So there's 4 currently in our inventory. There will be a 5th one in the game as well. That we won't really take care of today though. Instead, maybe only in the next episode or something like that. But that is also a completely different mission and just crazy difficult. In my opinion, at least. Or maybe I shouldn't say in my opinion because I've never done it. But basically what you have to do, to spoil as little as possible, you have to deal with the ancient dragon. And that, of course, from what I read, is very difficult. So that is going to be very exciting. But while that doesn't happen in this episode, it will certainly happen in one of the upcoming episodes. Once again, then again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually be able to beat the guy, but I'm sure as heck gonna give it a try, right? Might as well do that. So now there should be another little section right here. That is just that was that there, and this is this just the way back? It is just the way back. There's another 3rd little section to all of this. Where is it though? Or am I being stupid? Let me think about this. Am I being stupid? I'm missing something. Let's just use all of this then. Just go back up. Alright guys, so I'm back. I don't know, for whatever reason I just completely blanked on where the guy was. Probably just because I haven't done it in a good while and I've only done it once, but yeah. The guy that I was looking for is not down there. You have to loop back around essentially. And then, right, let's be careful though. Not get poisoned right here. You have to, yeah, loop back around and then use the key that we retrieved by killing those giants down in the little cave down there, and yeah, use that on the door, right? That is totally how you access all of that. I don't know why I forgot about that. That is so weird. I was really just confused very, very much for a second there. But yeah, just use the forgotten key, open the shit up, and talk to the guy a 2nd time. God damn. Whatever. Hopefully you won't mind too much. But alright, we meet again, young undead. We are now basically talking to him right here. It's not going to unlock the Covenant just yet. Of course, I don't think he has anything special to say either, but it's just good to know. Wait, have we? I'm drawing blanks left and right. This is so embarrassing. Yes, we totally have talked to him before in the Drangleic Castle. So as a matter of fact, this is now the 3rd and final. Well, there we go. That is apparently then what recording Destiny, or 4 episodes of that, and not doing any Dark Souls for a few days then does to my brain. I just forget everything that happened in this playthrough. But alright, so with all of the embarrassing stuff out of the way right then, we are now in the Covenant that this guy offers to you. It's the Pilgrims of the Dark, I believe. And being in here now opens up these portals that we can now interact with. So there's now a total of 3 of these. There's one in the Shaded Woods, very much where we talked to him the first time. Then there's one right down that hole in the Drangleic Castle, where we talked to him the 2nd time apparently. And now the 3rd one is very much right here. But that is also now, I would imagine, the first one that we are interacting with. I am already in the Covenant, no point to do that, interact with him that way. But I just want to very quickly check out what kind of stuff he has. Probably going to go ahead and buy the human effigies. We're going to need quite a few of these in this whole episode right here. Just because if you actually die in the portals, you have to offer him a human effigy, and only then you are allowed to re-enter the portal. So you can't just keep jumping in here and keep giving it a shot, just doing this whole like trial and error thing. Nope, you have to, well, essentially still do that if you die, but also give him a human effigy, thus making all of this a little bit of a pain in the ass. But alright, we're now in the dark chasm of old, and this is quite the thing. It certainly is, because what the focus basically is, while you are inside all of these little sectioned off areas, is you're going to be partaking in a lot of just almost, yeah, like NPC kind of humanoid battles, right? All the guys that you're going to be fighting in all of this are very much going to be phantoms, essentially. So those have a tendency to be very aggressive and deal a lot of damage by just being assholes, and that is very much the theme for all of these, for all three. And what we have to do in order to beat all of this is very much defeat all three, and then enter another little thing that we can do, and then fight a boss, essentially. So I don't know how all of this is going to now work out for me, because I do remember it being quite difficult. But I'm just excited and also pretty terrified. But maybe, just maybe, we're gonna have a good time with all of this right here. At least I would imagine that being the case. Anyway, that was okay. Now there's just weird little frickin', what's his name even? I always forget this guy's name. He also shows up in Dark Souls 1 in the Painted World of Ariamis. God damn, I always forget his name. That I think also have it in that last Dark Souls series that I did. Oh, not even dead. But there we go. Totally just, I don't know, staggered him. Wasn't really stun locking him now, was I? But staggering may be a good description for that. So that is the first two taken care of. Went a lot better than I initially expected after, I don't know, also a bunch of shit happening. Oh yeah, there's not only humanoid ones. I mean, you might still call this guy down there humanoid, but he's much rather... Oh, weird glitchy shadow, alright. He's very much more of a weird wizard kind of guy. And we're just going to drop down and then kill the crap out of this dude as well. Good. Bonfire aesthetics is mostly what we're getting by killing all of that. And now the main objective in every single one of these is lighting a torch and then leaving the area. And I forget where they were. As I've said, I've only been here once, so I'm not necessarily the best one to show all of this off, just because I have very little experience with all of this. But there is the first run right here, and we can now just essentially light a torch using one of the butterfly things. Where is it even? There we go, flame butterflies. And then also very much set light to this whole torch right here. And that now unlocks the exit. And that basically now indicates that we have finished this whole first little portal right here. All we have to do is now leave. And then once we have also finished the other two, the one in the Shaded Woods and the one in the Dranglight Castle, we will then be able to fight that final boss of all of this. So there will be a few more fights. We of course have wasted all our lightning spears fighting the giants before, which kind of sucks. I really would have liked to use some of that right here, especially since there is another pyromancer kind of guy ahead as well. I, for whatever reason, am not locking onto him. Oh god, alright. As long as the pyromancer doesn't aggro I as well, I'm gonna be okay. He actually is double wielding freaking hammers? You've got to be shitting me, dude. That is so just not anything any human being would do. Alright, we gotta hurry the fuck up here and actually leave for a second. Also heal up very much. That's a big part of it. and then be a lot more careful with all of this. I don't know if I can block anything that he will end up doing. I totally can, apparently, but then as soon as he adds more strikes to that combo, it's certainly not going to be too viable. Oh, maybe that's going to be a good strategy. Hitting and rolling. Hitting and rolling. Right. He's also rolling himself quite a bit, but if we now combo him, maybe we're already going to be able to defeat him. He's very low on health. Maybe two-handed, maybe then also take some damage myself. But that's not a big issue right here. We have all the Estus that we need. Now all we gotta do is get out of this town. And oh yeah, I totally did not mention that you also have to kill all the enemies in the portal for that as well. So it's not just lighting the whole sconce in the back, but also very much dealing with the rest of all the enemies inside of all of this. So okay, let's just fire some arrows at this guy. Are they gonna hit? They totally are gonna hit. I wasn't 100% sure about that just because he's so weirdly invisible, or at least transparent. And let's now just do a little bit of that. He is now officially poisoned. That is really good. Maybe we can do that with him as well. It just always sucks that you have to very much walk so close to the edge. And now he's properly aggroed too. So maybe we should much rather focus on just taking him down using a sword. Right. Once he's coming up, is he even? Like, he's trying to. He's not really doing a good job of that, but I don't know. Is there anything else down here? Because if so, I'm just freaking dead right here, right now. Alright, block that for whatever reason. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but backstabbing him is going to be very, very nice. Let's now tear him. Oh, yeah, my stamina was not there anymore. In order to back my whole neat little rhythmic dance up. But okay, we can now do that. Kill the shit. Oh wait, there's actually, oh yeah, there's totally an abyss there. So that is now him dead. That is now the exit opened up for us. I probably can walk on all of this. It still looks a little dangerous, if you ask me, but there should now be essentially nothing left to kill us. And we can now just very much drop down into this whole thing right here, and thus leave the very first portal that is number 1 out of 3, and we are now going to take on the rest. So all of this stuff is going to be rather repetitive, right? They all function the same way. There is one of those big torches in the level. There are mostly phantoms in the level, essentially exclusively phantoms in the level. And every time that you basically finish one of these, your whole Covenant rank is going to level up. And also, as I might have mentioned in previous episodes, by doing this whole Dark Covenant right here, Pilgrims of the Dark or whatever it's called, you can actually get the trophy for reaching like the maximum devotion to a Covenant by just doing this, like just offline gameplay, just running through levels, eventually then defeating the boss. And once you've done that, you have essentially reached the maximum rank at that point, and that will then allow you to get the trophy even without ever stepping into like the online play of the game. Alright, so that was number 1 now. Let me now go ahead and very much use my aged feather and go back to, yeah, the last bonfire rested at, and then probably, which one is the next one that we're going to do? I would imagine Dranglake Castle. Yeah, let's maybe do that one next. That is usually kind of the third one that you find, of course. First of all, you have to be in the Black Gulch before you then can ever take a step inside the Dranglake Castle, but kind of weird that I forgot about all of this. This whole like dark nonsense in the Black Gulch while I was here when we first fought the Rotten. But alright, it doesn't matter. I mean, also it's probably kind of nice to have this be part of this video instead of a previous one like 10 episodes ago or something like that. But alright, King's Gate is where we want to be at. We're not going to the Throne of Want just yet. We are instead going into the exact opposite direction. and once again falling down into that hole. Probably gonna fight one of the ruined sentinels again, maybe even 2 of those, and then take care of the other portal. Alright, so this room I hate. I think everybody that has ever played Dark Souls 2 very much hates this room. There's such a good reason for that, and that is not just the stone guys, that is also 100% the ruined sentinels. But if I remember correctly, I've done a great job of this. I've only opened up the door that we need, so let's now essentially like aggro him, run all the way back here, and only then worry about all of this nonsense. So maybe a great lightning spears already do quite a bit of damage, and it ended up doing quite a bit. That's okay. Now let's heal, and then let's maybe focus more on the melee. The only problem is, I believe he has a tendency of just walking back to where he came from. And then of course we can't follow him as much just because there's all these stone guys around. That's his little twirly, whirly tornado attack. and yeah. Now, any second now, he will be done for, or maybe it's going to be me that's done for. There we go. No, that's totally him. Much better then. Alright. So, no need to aggro anybody else. Now all we gotta do is, okay, maybe aggro one additional guy right here in the form of this spear rocking stone soldier right here. But then we can totally just drop down and talk to Dark Diver Grandal. Yet again, probably a good decision to rest at the bonfire, just so that if we die, dying in the portal is not going to really take us back to the bonfire now, is it? It's totally just going to drop us off right here at the portal, but still probably just a good thing to do right there, just lighting the bonfire. Anyway, we now have to give him a human effigy, and shit will open up again. We will be able to enter, we will be able to take on the second portal and have a good time with all of that. And all of that is very much relative, because good time inside of these, I wouldn't really call it that. Yeah, I really wouldn't. Because I've said this before, I believe, but I find that the phantom encounters in the game are some of the most challenging fights that you can get yourself involved with, just because they are usually very aggressive. Like, their whole AI is very much out to frickin' just keep swinging at you. And in that sense, I almost, as I was saying, find these to be some of the most difficult fights in the game, especially if you then get yourself inside of like New Game Plus. There, as I maybe already teased in previous episodes, are also a lot of like additional phantoms spawned in, and that is a big problem. And another big problem with all of these portals right here is that inside you're actually running into very heavy guys. So for example, what we're going to actually be doing in just a few moments, just a few seconds, where is he? Yeah, you're going to be fighting Havel, the frickin' rock. Havel, the douchebag of a rock. And I'm so scared. What I want to do is not die, of course. That is one big part of it. Oh my god, I'm so going to die, yeah. That only makes sense. He is probably one of the most difficult encounters in the entirety of all of these portals right here. Just because, of course, he is very smart. We already knew that. Already found that out in the first Dark Souls. Maybe he wasn't very much smart in that one. But he could easily kill you if you just fucked up, right? You actually are back at the bonfire. Yeah, I'm just all over the place in this episode today, but whatever. It's not like it really matters now. Is it right? Give another human effigy. I hope we're not going to run out of these by the time we then get to the final boss, because that would suck. And you also have to give him one every single time that you then deal with the boss and die to him. But okay. Spend all of that on all of that. Going to touch it again and try Havel again. What I want to do with him is just kick him off the edge. the problem with that is that if he, of course, like breaks your guard and then takes a few swings at you, you are in a very, very miserable situation because you have to then very much run away. There's like all kinds of ledges around you. It's very easy to fall down. It's quite challenging, but maybe, just maybe, we're going to be able to pull it off. Right, is he already going to aggro? If not, what I'm going to do, or at least try to do, is throw a Great Lightning Spear at him. Oh, fucking hell. Come on. I can do it. I know that I can do it. There, 916. That is significant damage right there. Alright. Let's step back. I don't know if that is a good choice. Actually, I'm very much regretting everything that I'm doing right now. But maybe if we just get him right here, it's going to be possible for us to kick him off. Or something like that. Right. Right. Alright, just try to... God damn it, this is so freaking hard. I hate it. But this is also very much how it went the first time for me when I first did all of this. I believe, spent maybe 1.5 or something like that hours on the entirety of all this Covenant-related stuff right here. Especially then the final boss. And maybe I should also stress that the boss actually is one of my favorites in the game, just because of how difficult he was for me and my kind of experience then connected to all of that, because I ended up doing a lot of like the behind the scenes strategizing, like trying to figure out which shield would be the best, like looking at his attacks and stuff like that. So in that sense it was a lot of fun for me, but still a very difficult one, and one that is probably going to once again take me a while. But right, another thing that I should probably do at this stage is, first of all, yeah, pop a human effigy, as counterproductive as that may seem, and then use a Ring of Life protection, just so that we don't have to lose health every single time that we end up doing all of this. Once we kill him, once we kill Havel, it's all going to be relatively easy. But as long as he's still around and doing his typical stuff, we should have a pretty hard time. Right now what I'm wondering is, maybe I should just spam the Great Lightning Spear. Maybe I should just do that, because it did take off quite a bit, and maybe if I just keep using that, it's going to wear him down to a point where I can then maybe finish him off using just one attack and don't even have to mess around with this whole kicking off the edge business. But the reason why I actually am pursuing that right now is that the first time I killed him was done very much by kicking him off, so it has worked for me previously. It's connected to a few issues though. Is it going to be possible for me? Alright, so apparently it only depends on your character's direction, so which direction he's facing, not so much the camera. There we go, that's 916, that is another damage right there. More damage. Do not fall off the edge, please. Yeah, fucking now he's done that. So we are gonna walk back all the way over here, just because that way... Oh, fuck, there he is. Just because that way I can kill him. There we go. Alright. Fair enough. What did he drop? Bonfire Ascetic. Ah, so disappointing. I don't know if there's anything else that those guys can drop, but I don't know, just whenever you kill Havel, it feels like you should get a little bit more for all of this stuff than just the stupid ass Bonfire Ascetic that I'm never going to use anyway. Alright, fire some arrows at him. He's going to whip out sorceries. We already know that. But that's not a... Oh, fuck off! Okay, okay. Whew. Whew, whew, whew. Probably want to walk back here yet again. I did not remember you, man. This was the first one that I did when I initially did this with my main character. I'm so upset right now. I'm so upset right now. How did I... We're gonna have to fight Havel again. We now have a strategy for that though, so I don't know. I'm a little bummed right now. I'm really not in the happiest state that I've ever been in, but we'll get through it eventually, I would imagine. So here is me re-entering all of that again. I will also equip the ring that I need to equip. It was a lot easier for me to do all of this when I initially did it with my main character, just because at that point I of course then had a lot more of those life rings. And you know what? Funnily enough, the first time I did it, I actually did it in New Game Plus, so I was expecting this to now be a lot easier. I totally forgot about that for whatever reason, but yeah, when I first did this, New Game Plus is what it was, and you can probably imagine how that then turned out. A lot of deaths, and same theme very much right here. Okay, re-enter it, try it again. Just never give up. That is a big part of Dark Souls 2 in general. Not giving up. Being the frickin' master of everything that you want to be, that you aspire to be. And yeah, then just enjoy living life from that point on. Right now though, it's making it hard, but I'm sticking with it. Great Lightning Spear. Then aim using your character, not so much the camera, and throw, and throw, and throw, and the last one he's probably going to block, or I'm just not going to hit. Right, at that point we now walk back and wait for him. He's going to be very fast. Maybe I'm even going to two-hand it and then just strike him straight to the face, kill him. No bonfire aesthetic, but that's fine. Now what we want to do is kill the other guy. Where was he at? He's right there. That guy's hopefully not going to aggro. So what I want to do first... oh, God, no, there he is. I'm so bad at this. This is so unfair, you guys. It's not unfair. I'm just being a dumbass for the most part, but alright. Use the Great Lightning Spear and kill the shit out of this dude. Hopefully it staggers him enough so that we can do a significant amount of damage here. That should do... No! Don't roll off the edge. Okay. Just backstab. Pretty good. Regain the stamina. All the stamina. And only then do all of this right here. Combo! Bitch. Bonfire aesthetic, come on. There we go. Oof. Oh, that was so scary. My heart stopped beating for a second there. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to go back up just immediately there. And that shocked me quite a bit. Now, he's apparently also chasing us to some extent. I'm not too worried about his sorceries, though, so let's end it right here and try to... not get like stabbed in the back or anything like that. Where's the torch? Is it around this corner or is it in a completely different direction? No, it's totally right here. So butterfly is what we're gonna use again. There we go. Flame butterfly. Ignite that thing. Ignite the thing. And then one more enemy is what we should be dealing with at this point now. There's a lot of chances for you to fall off in all of these areas, so certainly pay attention to that. And now, yeah, alright. Now we're gonna do this. Am I even already where I want to be? Yeah, there we go. One more guy. Maybe poison him? Does he have like a show? What do you call those again? I always forget the pronunciation with those. But the kind of sword that goes around the armor, or goes around the shield much rather, not the armor. Right, that is good now that he or she is poisoned. Almost looks like a she, doesn't it? And maybe I should have used some more lightning spears on her. Oh, okay. All of that, pretty good. All of this, pretty good as well. That is how you do it, motherfuckers. Okay, now we should be good to go. Don't fall into that hole. I either have done it before or I've gotten so close that it has scarred me. But now we can just drop down here and finish the second portal. Alright, there were a lot of problems connected to that one, but at least we got through eventually. And now we can focus on the final one, and then after you're done with that, you can very much enter the boss fight connected to all of this. And that is basically all we're going to do in this episode anyway. So at that point, we're just then going to call it a day. But trust me, we're not done yet. There's still quite a bit that we need to do. Quite difficult things as well that we need to do before we are done with all of this. But alright. Last stop, Shaded Woods and the Shaded Ruins bonfire right here. Now, we're just going to sprint by all the lion guys. We're just then going to drop down into the hole. Nobody is going to follow. We will give the guy a human effigy, enter the freaking portal, take care of the entirety of that, and then challenge the boss. And, oh, you guys... I don't know if I should go ahead and already tell you, like, my experiences with the boss, but probably not, because that would just end up spoiling a little bit too much for you, I would imagine. And maybe I can already tell you that when I first did that, I actually was nothing like this character right here, so I have no idea how easy it's going to be for me using, like, mostly miracles in my katana. Because at that point, I think I was mostly pyromancer, and that was a big focus too with my strategy against the guy. But alright, all you gotta do is fall down right here, of course, go back to his first location, and then once again give him a effigy and carry on with all of this whole nonsense. But yeah, I very much was a pyromancer at that point, and would end up using a lot of like the flame swathe stuff, which is a super powerful pyromancy as well, and that basically made me win. But it took me so many attempts, you guys. It took me so many attempts. I'm just super excited to see how all of this is going to go. Right. This might be a very long episode as well, but I'm totally okay with that. In the end, the only downside to it is that I will have to upload it for quite a long time, but then again, that doesn't matter too much. Just gonna do that overnight, and hopefully you are then going to get a rather good look at what all of this whole Covenant stuff is all about. Right. I forget this one. I believe there's a lot of shit you have to deal with in the beginning here. Later parts, pretty okay, but the beginning, not okay. Right. So what do we even have here? I forget this one. This was actually the one I did the most, but I always forget. Alright, okay, yeah, you totally traverse that whole abyss there, and then there's a room containing a total of 3 guys. And that is what I meant when I said that there's a lot of shit happening early on in this one. So that should be just a sword man. That is another sword man. And then there's also... what happens if I aggro this? This might kill me now. Just because everybody's going to aggro. Yeah, one is actually also using a bow. Then there's a sword guy, and there's also a sorcerer in there as well. And the bow guy, trust me, he is the biggest pain in the ass ever. He kills you so quickly. So what I want to do, it's only worked out a few times, but what I want to do is separate him and only deal with the sword guy. Hopefully the one guy now lost aggro. Maybe both of them did, but I don't know. I'll have to go back and check, I guess. No. That is the worst thing. If that happens now, if both of those are going to end up in this whole corridor right here, I'm done for. There's nothing I can do at that point. Right. I don't want to go check, but I do want to go check as well. Alright, whatever. It's not like we can't. Oh, why? What a... Come on, come around the corner. Do not bring your frickin' friend with you. Alright, lightning spears is what we're doing now. Maybe that's going to be good. The bow guy is not around the corner, surprisingly. He was there a second ago, but I'm so happy that he isn't anymore. Now, where is he? He's there. Lightning spear? I don't know. The problem is his freaking arrows, you guys, are not to fuck with. At least in New Game Plus, it was just absolute madness dealing with him. And I believe he also takes off quite a bit of your stamina, but alright. Pretty good. Just maybe combo him, maybe that's already going to be it. And it is, and I'm very happy because of that. And now there's only one sorcerer left. Another one of those transparent looking guys. And those, of course, aren't the biggest issue ever. Just be careful, there's holes all over the place. So yeah, there's actually one right here that is just the most devious one out of them. But I should be able to now just kill him that easily. Alright, elevator ahead. But of course before, it scares me every time. But before we then use that elevator, once again, flame butterfly. So it's good to have those as well while you are inside. I don't think there's a different way of lighting this. But alright, just set light to it, be done with it, carry on. So there's nothing else here, I believe. Just do not fall down there. Big issue that I was having when I initially did this whole third and final portal right here. Because I don't know if I've ever fallen down, but I've gotten so close so many times that it has, once again, very similarly, or very similar to that whole other portal that we've been inside before, scarred me for life, probably, because now I'm afraid of edges even more than I was initially. Now being down here, I believe only one more guy ahead of us, and we might be able to just combo him. He seems to be more of a thief, so let's just block whenever he's attacking, and attack whenever he, or whenever I have full stamina. Maybe that's a better way of dealing with it. Alright, so that might already do it. This might already do it, and it did. Okay. Now, I forget. Oh, yeah, I forget whether you now immediately enter the next boss fight, or the boss fight, or whether you have to finish this first and then re-enter it. I would imagine that it's now happening, though, as soon as I go through this whole fog on the ground here. Or like fall down into it, or whatever you want to call that. But alright, so up ahead is the Darklurker. That is what the boss is called, and he is mostly using sorceries. So what I want to focus on right now is selecting a shield that blocks mostly magic. I don't really care about anything else. Magic is certainly the priority, though. Or maybe dark, actually. You know what? Dark is what I want to block, I think. And the Transgressor's Leather Shield has insane dark defense. I think that's what I want to use, and that's, I think, what I ended up using when I initially did this. Because he, as I was saying, he doesn't do too much melee damage, and most of the stuff, if he even does any, you can just dodge roll. So we want to block projectiles in this fight, and that is now what I want to do with this whole shield right here. I forget where you pick it up, but it's pretty good for this fight, I find. So maybe use a Twilight Herb to restore some spell uses. I don't know how useful all of these lightning spears are going to be. I might even put one or two, or maybe actually the Wilted Dusk Herb in the hotbar right here. I have my soul protection on. I have a decent amount of healing items. Okay. What's my weight looking like? It's looking pretty good. I'm really terrified because this ended up taking me quite a bit when I first did it, as I've been saying so many times now, but alright. We'll just jump right in and take on the Darklurker, I would imagine. So, yeah, here goes nothing, I guess, then. I'm so terrified. Alright, but this would then also, if we now got out of all of this successfully, this would then conclude the entirety of the Covenant already, so let's see. sure would have been faster than than it initially took me. And I also do very much forget the whole like mechanics connected to all of this. I'm bad, and I'm mad because I'm bad. But alright, what he's doing now, that is for the most part what you want to be careful about. The dark orb that he sends out every once in a while. That is a laser. You also want to be careful when it comes to that. Just use a lightning spear whenever he's doing that. And as soon as he's down to essentially 50 health, god damn it, he's going to split up. And that is basically the main gimmick of this entire fight, that you then have to deal with two guys at the same time. And this, as you probably can already imagine, makes it a lot more difficult. Like, ridiculously difficult, and I probably am going to die very quickly right here if I am not careful enough. And that can happen very quickly because, of course, they are just going to use shit. Like, they don't care about you, they don't care about your life. All they care about is your death, and this whole dark orb that he sends out is the biggest problem, as I said. But alright. Yeah, there we go. That's actually already going to take care of myself. But we did okay damage. Jesus, what a stressful one that is. And we now have to fight all these guys again, so probably what I'm going to end up doing here is cutting. Actually, yeah, it's a good idea to do that, so I'll see you then, guys. Okay, I made it back, you guys, and I now have to re-equip my shield and all that kind of stuff, and then we're going to start with attempt number 2. So the big problem in that initial attempt there was that I wasn't able to block the orbs, right? They shoot like little tiny orbs that do so much damage, and they teleport to, like, they use a portal to send it to a different location of that whole arena, and that is just bullshit in my opinion. But what you can do is block him. It's just a very difficult thing to do. Like, you have to essentially manually position your character in a way that he then is able to block it. But maybe we can now do a better job with all of this. What I could do, I guess, as well is use Darklurker right here and maybe give me a little bit more of a defense there. I could also very much go ahead and try to find stuff that just has a little bit more dark defense. I don't know if that is too viable, though. I don't know if I have anything along the lines of that. I would maybe imagine that, yeah, like dark armor, for example, right here is already a lot better when it comes to that. Then again, just standard defense is not too hot, and I don't know how those then compare, like whether having more actual physical offense is going to be better, or just having dark defense right here is going to be better. I don't know. We're gonna try again. A big focus, I would imagine, right now is going to be just using lightning spear, or this great lightning spear much rather, as much as possible. Like, as soon as possible, just deal as much damage as I possibly can, and hopefully get him down to very little health as quickly as I can. So here we go. Here's attempt number 2 with all of this. Let's see how this works out. When there's only one around, it's pretty easy, right? I know what attacks he does and how those behave, and I can mostly dodge him. I mean, maybe with the exception of that whole orb thing. But the fire I can dodge, the laser I can dodge, most of his like close quarters attacks I can dodge. Just when he is then split up, the way that they combine all that stuff is just incredibly nuts. Right, so when he does that, you want to stand underneath them and then do damage that way. I wonder what he's now going to do. I always want to take a look at what he does first and only then. Let's see if I'm now going to be able to block this. Yeah, there we go. See, that is much better then. That is much better. And that is something you can do with the Transgressor's shield that I have mentioned. Right, so just use that. That is going to be another laser attack. That is basically my favorite, essentially, at least when he's just solo. Because at that point, you can just do damage all easy like. Okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. He's not dead. Is he dead? He's not dead. He is dead. Oh my god, okay. That was the much better way of dealing with it then. God damn it, that was so tense there. But he's done for. We have defeated the Darklurker. We will get his soul and stuff like that as well. And are now at least able to finish this whole covenant. And I don't know, I haven't really talked too much about the lore of all of this. I don't know if there is a whole awful lot of that, but from, I don't know, the aesthetics of all these places, right? All these portals and it being called the Dark and Pilgrims of the Dark and stuff like that. You get a very, like, Abyss vibe from all of this. It reminds you of, for example, the Dark, what is it even? Is it the Great Chasm or something like that in the Notorious of the Abyss DLC? It's pretty reminiscent of all of that. And then it's funny to see Havel in there. And what looks like, what is his name even? Ferris, the bow dude in the forest in Dark Souls 1 there as well. So that is at least who I expect to be the whole, like, archer that we ran into in this very last portal right there. So it's a little weird and very interesting. I would very much like to find out what you guys think about all of this and the significance of this whole covenant being here. But yeah, now by talking to him, we have essentially maxed out this whole covenant in just one relatively long episode, but that is totally fine by me. I hope you just enjoyed this. It was not the best gameplay that I've ever given you in this series, but at least it was very genuine and hopefully still pretty entertaining for what it was. Alright, so we also get some Xanthus stuff right here. That is also another callback to Dark Souls, and once again very interesting. But that also then basically concludes it. Like, there's other stuff that I believe you can buy off of him. You can also talk to him, I guess. Dragon Chime is what he gives you because you defeated the Darklurker. And then that is the end of all of this. So guys, do want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Next time we are going to take on just even more of all the optional stuff before we then take on the final boss. And at this point, what that essentially concludes, or includes, I should say, is the Ancient Dragon we want to try. King Vendrick we want to try, mostly after the Ancient Dragon though. And then also the what's it called even? The Executioner's Chariot is still something we need to do. And then we also have, where is it even? We have, oh, right here. The Crushed Eye Orb, which will allow you to invade the world of a traitor, and that is something I want to do as well. So hopefully you guys are all excited for that, and yeah, I'll then see you next time. Goodbye, and have a very nice evening, or just day in general. I'll see you then.